What's up, guys? Welcome back to Gears and Arms. I'm Caleb, and stay tuned because today we work on the 52 custom line Crown Vic swap, and it's right behind me, kind of looking kind of funky. Stay tuned to see why. Okay, so we're back over here at the shop, and Hoopie's been doing a little bit of work. He's got the door handles pulled off because they are not functioning right. He pulled that chunk of floor out from the last video, and then he has started welding in some bracing. Oh, where's it at? There it is. Started welding in some bracing so that we can get ready to pick this body up off this frame. He has also started cutting along the top edge of the firewall here. So we're cutting along here, and we're gonna come down somewhere through here and across because our hood hinges are mounted to these old like ventilation ducts. So we're gonna kind of cut around those, go down the side here, and get this body pulled off here. So let's hop into it.
I mean, I don't see anything.
You know you're recording.
Yeah. I can always mute the audio.
Yeah. Or just leave the belch in.
Yeah.
And the I don't see anything.
I mean, that definitely needs to be left.
Go ahead and bump it up some.
All I know is I got the front undone.
Oh,
Oh,
hold on.
something that's just dislodged itself.
Go up a little bit. I shouldn't put my fingers in there. Yeah, it's free.
And why are the rear wheels off the ground?
That is a valid point. I have no idea. But there, I can see a gap in the frame.
There's a reason.
Hold on. It's just this side.
So the other side's touching the earth?
Yeah. Am I supposed to wheeze? What? I'm prying down on the frame and oh wait. Hold on, go down. I know why.
Is it catching the
It's catching the edge of the rim. Just barely.
just ever so slightly, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, that was just catching the rim.
Yeah, that.
Alright, now try it. Oh, would you like that? Alright, I'm gonna go try
Okay.
Okay.
Well, what we need to do,
That's great.
we need to go back down and we gotta be able to roll the whole operation back about 8 inches. I think we've got a way to get this up. Okay, so this is redneckery, but we feel that it's relatively safe. We'll find out and we'll have video evidence whether we did it right or not. Here we go. Something's hanging. You need a big pry bar?
No, I need this. Actually, I think I got it with a screwdriver.
Screwdriver? Okay.
Hold on.
I had the bulbs on here if you want to make short work of it.
No, I used my screwdriver knife.
Screwdriver knife? All right. Bumpy, bumpy?
Yeah. All right, as you can see, body is cut free and lifted up. We just ran that bar through the holes in these side panels. Worked out pretty well. Threw the lift arms into the wheel wells back there. It picked up with very few issues, just a few wires needed cut, and a couple pieces of the rocker we're still kind of holding on. So now we're gonna get this old frame and firewall and engine all pushed out, and probably do a little cleanup and then get the Crown Vic pulled in here. Okay, so we got the body lifted back up in the air and pulled the Crown Vic backwards because we noticed some areas where we were going to have some clearance problems around the firewall on the sides. We're probably going to have to cut out these brackets that we left for the original hood hinges and come up with a different plan. Moving back, we're working on cutting these A-pillars down a little narrower. This side is already trimmed down. We pulled the seats out of it because they were going to be in the way for our brackets that we have added in. Once we get this side trimmed, we'll get it set back down. We did see that the rear axle, which we knew we were playing with some fire with the width. The rear axle is considerably wider than what will fit under the back of the car. We're kind of coming up with some game plans right now of how to address that. We're probably gonna just do some different body work on it. If you're trying to retain like a stock look, you could probably just go with a narrower rear axle. So that's what we're playing with right now. We're gonna get this side trimmed, pull the car back in, and try and set this body down again. Okay, so this is where we're sitting now. It's coming down. We actually got good clearance on this side. This side, I'm not doing too bad, but it's actually just our bracing is interfering. So I'm gonna trim that a little more. And then the next obstacle we're running into that I'm gonna tackle next is this spare tire well. Is obviously going to come into contact with the gas tank, so I'm going to cut the spare tire well out completely, and I'm probably going to have to cut some of this trunk floor to make room for the fuel tank as well. If the fuel tank wasn't there, it almost fit perfect, but we're not going to relocate the fuel tank, so I'm going to cut that out. All right, so as you can see, the body is set down. It's kind of locked up in place. We still need to do some clearancing in the front. And also our big issue is back here in the back. I know a lot of you guys were talking about widths and wondering how we were gonna do it. And this is kind of what we're dealing with right now. That tire sticks out about 2 inches or so. We got a couple game plans. We just need to decide what we want to do as far as getting that to fit. It's going to come down about 8 inches is what we figured. Obviously it's not going to sit this high. That looks ridiculous. So it's going to come down about 8 inches. Basically the bottom of this rocker will be the bottom of that rocker. So we have more cutting to do, but we are one step closer. We put a couple hours in on this today. But it will soon be all the way down and mounted together. Little video of inside of what we're kind of dealing with. It's down there by the rockers. Dash is just barely squeaking in. Well, the dash supports and firewall. It's gonna be interesting because the dash in this car is so shallow versus the dashes in newer cars. We're gonna need to do something interesting with this. I don't know. We'll get to that point here in a bit. Our floor is actually lining up rather well. Where the Crown Vic floor humps up is almost the same exact spot where this floor humps up. So that's lining up pretty good. And then down in here, we've got it sitting on cinder blocks in the back. We got pretty good clearance. Our only issue, which I mentioned before, is going to be that trunk floor that you can see right here is going to come in contact with the gas tank, so we're going to have to notch that. Get a little better shot of it there. We'll basically just come right across here, cut the floor, probably just bring it up to that level. But that's going to be a wrap, I think. Well, that's a wrap on this episode of the 52 Custom Line Crown Vic swap. We got the body set down a little bit closer to where it needs to be. Now this thing actually drives in under its own power with the Crown Vic. So next time we'll be getting this cut a little bit more, getting the body set down the rest of the way. But until then, guys, drop any questions or comments you have down below. I'll be sure to answer them. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe. Helps the channel grow. And also let you guys know, I got a ton of projects going on between this, the Hawk, and then coming up I got that Ford Falcon, the 62 Ford Falcon. And I will also put a link to Hoopies Hot Rods channel down below. Go check his channel out. He's also doing videos on this. And also he has some other projects he's working on. So be sure to check that out. As always, guys, I appreciate it. Stay tuned for next time. Have a good day.